All right, we have today Andrew Scheer and Parliament. It's a Saturday, Easter Saturday, surprising, and they're in there. They're going to be talking about doing this video. Watch this.
The documents show a government persistently downplaying the threat of coronavirus until it was too late. Other countries like South Korea, Singapore, and Taiwan ramped up testing and secured medical equipment early on, which allowed them to flatten the curve quickly, preventing their economies from being completely shut down. We were told for weeks that the risk of COVID-19 to Canadians was low. We now ask why that risk assessment seemed to change overnight. Why did the government wait so long to impose travel restrictions? Why were travelers not originally screened? Why do we have a critical shortage of medical supplies? Why is it taking the government so long to sign contracts with companies that are offering to retool their facilities to provide much-needed medical equipment? Why are other countries further ahead of us when it comes to testing and tracing? These are some of the questions that Canadians have, and they deserve answers. And while we know that mistakes have been made in the past, Conservatives are focused on looking to the future, on how best to get Canada through this crisis, keep our citizens healthy, and get our economy back on track. The Prime Minister has said that we need to prepare for a second and perhaps a third wave. Canadians want to know how this government is preparing to get ahead of those waves.
And this is why the Conservatives are demanding regular opportunities to ask the Prime Minister and the House of Commons questions about all aspects of the government's response to the COVID-19 crisis. We also want to hold weekly parliamentary committee meetings where MPs can move motions, call witnesses, and ask ministers and government officials questions. We cannot wait for this pandemic to end to hold our government to account. Parliament has a crucial role to play right now. Through debate, discussion, and regular questions from the opposition, we will obtain better results for Canadians.
Parliament has a vital role to play now. Through debate, discussion, and regular questions from the opposition, we will get better results for Canadians. Today's emergency legislation is a good example of this. When the government first announced a 10% wage subsidy, Conservatives and small business owners across this country raised concerns. Other countries were offering far more, and it was clear that 10% was just not going to cut it. So we pushed for a significant increase. A few days later,
Andrew Scheer and the Conservatives are starting to speak aloud that they want to bring Parliament back. I believe that Parliament should be there. That's how democracy works. Democracy does not work in silence, devoid of debate. Like, subscribe, and comment. Leave your comments below. Have a good day.
Making it harder for them to get the support they needed. We called on the government to make changes, and now credit unions can deliver these loans as well. The need to show a 30% revenue decrease to qualify for the wage subsidy meant too many new and seasonal businesses didn't qualify. We raised this concern, and now there is more flexibility. And this week, we rolled up our sleeves and worked with the government to ensure that businesses have the certainty they need to keep their employees on the payroll. Les conservateurs.
Conservatives have been part of Team Canada since day one, offering constructive solutions to improve the government's response to this pandemic.
Part of Team Canada since day one, offering constructive solutions to improve the government's response to this pandemic. But we know there's still more work to do. Conservatives have proposed meaningful solutions, such as rebating the GST to small businesses that have collected it in the last year to provide a much-needed cash injection. We've also suggested using loss of earnings, subscriptions, or orders as a way to ensure that more businesses qualify for this wage subsidy. And we've put forward ideas to help our energy and charitable sectors, like increasing the charitable donation tax credit.